All right, hey you guys. I am in the process of getting some dinner, leftovers from who knows when, and putting together my little heater and stuff. And I'm so hungry. And I was trying to watch a movie while I was doing this on Amazon Movies, but I don't know. It's like in my older age, I think I've gotten to the point where I don't know. I don't want to. I don't have the patience to sit back and watch somebody else's my life. My life is just as meaningful and interesting and so forth and so on. Um, yeah, so what I'm eating is leftover from Winn-Dixie Deli. As you can see, I'm still in the kitchen because I finished step one. I'm gonna do step two, which is to put all the stuff that's over here. Can I turn this thing even? I can. In this corner, up into the cabinets and fridge, and wherever else it may go in the kitchen. Once I get that part done, I'll start making my way from the left to the right and cleaning up. So yeah. There was a movie. It seemed like it was okay, but it's like, it's funny watching it because I feel like I'm watching my own life. So this is leftover from when Dixie Deli. When it's hot, it's really good. It's been a few days. When I say few, I mean literally probably 3 to 4 days. It's been in the fridge because I didn't eat it when I was at work. I took it home, stuck it in the fridge, and kept forgetting to bring it to work. So I'm eating it now cold because I don't want to use anything until it's clean. So that's what it is. It's cold. But their side dishes at the Winn-Dixie Deli is really good though. I got the water filter. I don't know if you can see it. Hi, Kenny. What's up? Thank you for joining me, by the way. um, the song of the day, by the way, is "It's a Rainy Night in Georgia." Hey, Libra. And you gotta forgive me. I'm old now. I'm like 43, so I have to scoot up to see because, you know, everything's kind of tiny. But I'm thirsty. I'm so glad that this is up and going. I don't have any cups and stuff, so I'm recycling a juice bottle to use to drink out of. And I'm about to enjoy my drink right now. So I don't know why the last one didn't go. I don't know if it was an older filter. That filter actually had the indicator light up. This one doesn't light up. It's just green, and I guess it'll change when it's ready. They said you're supposed to let it run for 5 minutes. I didn't, so I'm gonna taste and see how the water tastes straight from the faucet. I don't know because this had a little bit of the watermelon juice left in here, so I might not even be able to taste it. It tastes all right, but I can't taste anything because, again, it was watermelon juice. But water is the breath of life. Oh my goodness. So I'm glad that I was able to get a couple of bites of food into me. I want to go grab the Bible and read a little bit because I didn't tell y'all before. Like I said, I think the world is changing so much. The Bible means nothing. There's no real such thing as Christianity. I mean, it's just cutthroat. I wish, like I said, y'all could have been with me. Um, I wish, Kenny, if you listen, you'll find out how I'm doing. But I wish you guys could have been with me. I'm doing fine. But I wish you guys could have been with me through my journeys today because y'all would have seen some really real stuff. Went to this church. I went just to see, there's a girl there that, excuse me, I'm sorry. There's a girl there that I befriended and, or that I like, you know, I don't know if befriended is a word, but I like her spirit and I like her energy. And she's the only thing that like, but she wasn't there today. And so, you know, the secondary reason is they have like a little food distribution. That's the only two reasons I go. I don't go for any other reason because that church is really scary. It's cutthroat. Like, I can't even repeat some of the stuff that goes on there because I'm scared for my life. That's how real, you know, that is. So, and I'm sorry, you know, if y'all saw something you shouldn't have seen and y'all are watching it somewhere you shouldn't be watching it anyway. If you're watching it at work or something like that, you shouldn't be anyhow. So, but yeah, so yeah. But this is mashed potatoes and gravy. I don't think these are really collard greens. These are turnip greens, I think. Turnip greens and macaroni and cheese. Really good when it's hot. So good soul food. I remember back in the day growing up when Dixie, um, they were almost like Belos. I grew up in Hampton, Virginia. And it was like you walk in and the smell would make you turn around and walk back out. But back around 2005 or so, when I moved to Atlanta, no, it was 2000 when I moved to Atlanta, 2000, I saw that when Dixie kind of changed up, they were trying to, and they didn't have Publix in Hampton, Virginia, but in the South they had it. So Publix was like the real nice store. I thought it was more expensive, but wait till you get to Whole Foods Market, $17 for lunch, hey. But yeah, so Winn Dixie has come a long ways. They were almost out of business at one time, but they're like my preferred almost for pricing and for quality of food. Not as many, much variety as I would like. And there's a couple of other small grocery stores around here that I enjoy. So, yeah, Charles, what you say? What you say, Piggly? Sorry, I got disconnected, but yeah, Charles, Piggly Wiggly. But yeah, all of those little grocery stores, Velo, Food Line, if y'all remember Food Line, oh my gosh. But yeah, I miss all of that. You know, Hampton, Virginia, that area growing up, that was a great place. You know, when I look back on it for kids, you know, well, at least for my childhood and my upbringing, and you know, the schools were really good. The community, I think, even though we were quote unquote in the ghetto, it wasn't like this, or maybe I just wasn't exposed to it because I went to school and came home, and nobody really bothered me too much because even though I was different, everybody knew that that's where I lived. You know, and you know, being an older woman now and living in the same situation but paying regular price is, you know, I don't know, it's something beautiful about living. It's something beautiful about it. I don't know what it is. It feels like home to me. I'm all right with it. But yeah. So, but here in Florida, there's like Trader Joe's, Whole Foods Market, which is just way too overpriced. I'm not lying. The food is good though. I have to admit, anything you get is gonna be good, but it is overpriced. What's another good grocery store? They have Harris Teeter, which is also, but that's down south, like Miami area. But there's some pretty decent supermarkets around here. Then they have some lower budget food markets like Aldi's. There's a place called Saks, which basically to me is like all expired food. But if you want a good deal on some quick snacks, then you can go really go there. But thank you guys for those of you that joined me, because I really, you know, I have a lot of stuff to do, but I really just want to go to sleep. You know, sleep and eat, that's what it is. I didn't even eat a lot because this thing was full. So I ate this little corner and a little couple scoops of my greens, and that's it. But yeah, I guess I should push forward to try to get all this done, because really the quicker, because I have things to do mentally. And when I say mentally, I mean things that, like, things I need to fight that I don't feel like fighting, because it's going to take a clean environment. I have to settle down. And, you know, I got a lot of stuff to do. But once I get everything clean, you know, and set up, I should be good, you know. And it's not a lot. And it feels like a lot because nobody really wants to clean somebody else's stuff. But it's really not. You know, once I start putting that stuff up, it took me 45 minutes to clean the fridge and the cabinets. So it is going to take some time, you know. And I'm okay with that, you know. And then most of the stuff that's in the living room is all clothes, so I need to get more clothing racks and put those up. And the good thing about, you know, this apartment thing is that, you know, if I can go to sleep for an hour and get up and do whatever else I want, you know, to do. But the thing about it too is I don't want to be lazy, you know. But I am going to get the Bible, because that's another thing too that hinders me. Is that sometimes, like, when you're laying around and you're sleepy, and I'm an older woman now, like I said, I'm 43, but it's like when you want to calm yourself, or kind of get rid of some energy, sometimes you will do things to expend energy. Okay? Expend energy, and those things, if you go biblically, are not good things, and they're not good things for a reason. It takes a lot of time. Like for me, it takes hours and hours and hours for that to happen, you know. Guess maybe I'm not attracted to myself anymore, but it takes hours for those things to happen, and those are hours that you could be using doing something productive. Also, when you think about things that are, you know, not up, like lewd stuff and whatever like that, it hinders you from being a blessing to somebody, you know, because, and I've had this happen in the past, somebody might come to you and you can't be a blessing to them because, one, you decided you're going to roll out of bed and run to the store real quick and stop by somewhere, but then somebody stopped you and want to talk, you ain't brush your teeth, and you just like, dragging. You don't want. And when I was raised, you're not supposed to come out the house any kind of way, because you don't know who you're going to meet, who you're going to run into. And back in the Christian days, who you might be able to witness to. You can't witness to anybody if your breath stinking, your clothes falling off you and all this, and as y'all can see, I still got that issue going on. And the other thing too, like, if your mind is not clean, just like if your house is not clean, you can't have company. And that's one thing I admire about some of these people here. They got their door wide open. They invite strangers in, come on and take a look, and that's a good thing, Um, that means you're ready to witness when your heart is ready to. But it's one thing when you want to do something and there's no reason for you not to be able to do it except that it won't be well received because of the way that it's coming off. So those are things that we definitely, want to watch, you know. Um, and it's so weird. I'm at this weird point in my life where, do I call myself a Christian? Because, that word, the way that the media portrays it and the way that, the things that are publicized about it is just not, real. And then it's like, for me, what I'm recognizing as well is they'll let anybody get up on their stage and preach and talk. That dude, there was a fat boy. Well, and I mean boy, because when I met him, I think he was just turning 19 or just turning 20. And at first I was so impressed because he was saying he's preaching and this and that and the other and whatever. But I mean, him being around these different, he's obviously around a lot of church people, but they're instilling in him values of being lewd and nasty and whatever. Because I went today, I still have a child of a heart, a heart of a child. But I don't even want to retell the story because I did vlog about it earlier. But it was just, sorry it keeps bumping everybody out. But just because somebody says something is a church or somebody says somebody is a boss or this, that, and the other, it don't mean it's true. Just because somebody's a volunteer. And let me tell you something. And people have probably been aware about this long before I have. But, when you go to places where there's homeless people or people that are, the mentality is that you're supposed to be a caretaker to them or they're lesser than you. The people that are on the other side are just in the same position or worse. But the positioning of it is different. Like, I went to that place to look for my friend. My friend was not there. The person I consider to be my friend. Was not there, the person that I went there to see. And it's just, the secondary reason they, have food distribution. So I was like, okay, I'll take some food. That's a cool thing. I could use that, save some money because I've been spending $30, $40 a day and what niggas, you know what I'm saying, at the deli. Literally, they had some smokehouse, pork loin, something. And literally, I was just gobbling that stuff on up. But I'm going to tell you that, when I went, I was just like, I couldn't believe this. They changed things around. They charged for, like, clothing before they used to give it free. Then on top of that, they start distributing at a certain time, which I think is great. But what happens is the people that are crooks and criminals, they'll come and do whatever they want and run off with all the good stuff and leave. And then the real crooks and criminals are the people that are quote-unquote volunteering, because it's just like the lady told me straight up. She was just like, oh, you've been here long enough. First she tried to lie on me. She was just like, oh, she came, she been trying me all day, such and such. I was like, no, don't tell that lie on me. I was like, do not tell that lie on me. And I guess she thought I was going to let it go, and if she continued with it, I would have just walked out and called it a day. But the thing about it, what she said was to me was like, you was here long enough, you should have just, walked in and got you something, and you could have said you was a volunteer. You guys, I mean, it's so much, and some of the stuff I don't want to speak on, because again, I would be fearful for my life, because that church is not a church of God. it's that gangster, okay, where, that shit is gangster. Excuse my language, and that's what I'm saying, I've changed. I use bad words and stuff now, but it's gangster. Just like how people call people crazy. But if a person really crazy, you're not gonna mess with them because they're really crazy, and they will. You know what I'm saying? So you don't really mess with them. You don't look at them the wrong way. That's how it is about some of these churches. They are gangster. You are not gonna look the wrong way, talk the wrong way, walk the wrong way, say the wrong thing. You gonna pretend like everything is good and normal. You have to be there because ain't nobody gonna repeat the story to you because it's gangster. Okay? I mean, it's you might have some things happen you don't want to happen. You feel me? And that's on the real, and that's scary. That's a church. And if you don't believe me, there are real stories that are out here. I won't tell the ones that I witnessed because, like I said, I'm afraid. but I mean, if you look at channels like Dawson Speaks and Dawson Denise, they're located out of Miami, Florida, and he reports on that stuff. It's real. And I can see how after a while though, because on my other channel it keeps popping up in my recommendations, and I don't want to see it anymore. I can't even click on it, you know. But you guys, it's real out here in this world. So if you want to be, I don't even want to use the word Christian, but if you are a good person and you want good wholesome values, those things that you built, those good wholesome values, check the source that it comes from. Ooh, and I don't like how, like, when I'm talking, it's like the words coming afterwards. It's kind of creepy. That story's about that too. But, you know, check the source that it's coming from. You know, check the source. Does that source live that life? And if not, you be the source, you know. Charles, you are so right. I'm glad you're still here with me, but you're so right about that. It's scary, though. I've seen it. I have absolutely seen it. You know, I've come close with it. And the thing about it, I don't go to that church all the time. It's once in a blue moon. And the reason that this person approached me frantically, because they couldn't talk to anybody that was there all the time, because there's so many networks and niches, and, you know, it'll be quickly turned around into something else, you know. So it's really scary. But I'm really satisfied and happy about the people that have come here to join me today. I appreciate it. We are gathered here to, I ain't gonna play like that, but, you know, and about who I am, just to tell you, I am, I am so satisfied. I am so satisfied with my Savior. But I'm a good person, you know, for the most part, but I've changed. I'm gonna tell you that I've changed. I used to be like, for me, 100,000% pure, but it's like now I have the knowledge of good and evil because I've seen and experienced things. You know what I'm saying? I don't have the full knowledge, you know, but I know that it exists, and I know that there are, like the Bible says, evil in high places. I know that. You know, I've seen it with my own eyes. You know, and I'm gonna tell you this too. You know, this world and the society that we live in tells us not to, you know, that we're not to trust our instincts. That if you do so, you're paranoid, this, that, and the other. But no, you have an instinct for a reason. You know. You know, look within yourself, spend some time with yourself so that you know who you are, and you're not always adapting yourself to whatever else somebody tells you you are. And it's hard to do because the more that we grow and we live in this life, the more, you know, the world is trying to change us every day, you know, and a little bit of adaptation is needed, you know. So, yeah, a little bit of adaptation is needed because just like the bamboo, you have to be able to bend, because if you don't bend, you're going to break. So you have to be able to adapt to a certain degree. Yeah. But I need to stop running my mouth. I need to put this food back in the fridge because I am clearly done. And then I need to get this heater set up so that when I'm ready to go to sleep, I won't be cold. And then I need to start working on the stuff on the side. But anyhow, so I don't know what you're breaking your neck trying to see, but so, you know, I am thankful to those that came to visit me, you know, specifically Charles. You know, you had some great input and comments, and, you know, you're from an area that I grew up in, you know, Hampton, Virginia, Portsmouth, Norfolk, Newport News. And I know a lot has changed, you know, you know, since I grew up, but it was a great place for me to grow up in. And like I said, I don't know if that's just my experience, but the parents and all of that, but I've had some really good, you know, experiences with, you know, my upbringing and things like that. So, but again, Charles, I really appreciate your presence here, and I hope that you always, you know, that you always stay around, and you come out and support. It's good to have people that are actually paying attention and things like that. So, Nubs, you're saying there's a lot of drugs out there now. Yeah, I guess that's everywhere, but, you know, for me, you know, I haven't been exposed to a lot of things, you know, and I'm grateful for that. You know, I'm grateful for that. I won't say that I still have a child spirit because I've seen, you know, some things, but I am gonna go. I appreciate you guys coming and joining me for a little bit. I finished my light dinner. I might take a little nap, and I might clean up a little bit more, so y'all might see me later on. But thanks again. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Aww. No, you know, Charles, I can't. That's another story, though. I got disowned by my family. But it's a whole story that goes behind it. If you happen to find my other channel, you will probably see my story and things like that there. But yeah, this is my home now. And you know, it's my home, better or worse. And I love it. So, but anyways, God bless you guys. And rock home. What is that? Okay, well, I don't know about all the drug things, but anyways, have a blessed night, you guys.